Hello, all. Good morning. Hello, Frank.
Hello,
Uh,
good morning.
Good morning. I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself. I am Chitkala Akella. I am a founder of CustomerOptions.ai, a company that is committed to delivering the most comprehensive business solutions and options. We actually distributed that effort into four wings. Benefits Now is a launch your business today, a retail and a business service and startup wing. Find Option, Find Service to Brand is a marketing service wing. Find Search AI for you is a technology transformation service wing where we help businesses understand how AI can play a role and build their business inside the industry. And then Grow It and Leadership is a practice, is a leadership advocacy, a speaker stage where we build and deliver speeches to promote leadership, sense, and development. And Industry Talks is my favorite, is a talk moderator interviewing defined industry professionals to introduce to professional audience the strength of the companies and the grit behind their effort, which makes them stand out in the industry. Today morning on Industry Talks at CustomerOptions.ai, we will be introducing a publishing firm who define themselves with trust the process and magic. Trust the Process book marketing program is a publishing company founded by Melissa Van Oss and Frank Zaccari. They believe that visibility sells books, and publishing it was an act of courage. But the real magic happens when the author manages to reach the ripple effect to its audience, and at that point, the author's mission becomes a movement. Happy to share and congrats, Frank, with the wish of congrats that they are celebrating 16th bestsellers and have already received 8 national book awards. Magic happens when you trust the process. So let us hear about their passion for publishing books for one of their founders, from one of their founders, sorry, on how they make this happen and what it takes to them in publishing, what it takes to them to be in the publishing industry. Frank Zaccari, who is a co-founder, a contributor, Biz Catalyst 360, a certified speaker, a 5x bestseller, and 3x award-winning author. And our favorite, as always, is an US Air Force veteran. And all-time volunteer at University of California Entrepreneurship Academy. Frank, please explain to us on how you vision this venture and how you engage with authors so they become customers and authors and publish their books with Trust the Process.
Be happy to. It's a pleasure to be here with you. We didn't start off to be a book marketing organization. In fact, I never dreamed that I would ever even write a book, let alone have a company that helped market and promote books. My background was I grew up in Western New York in Steel Town, and I left there very, very early to get out of Buffalo, New York, and went to California in the military, where I was a military medic at the end of the Vietnam War. I was not a writer. I am not trained in being a writer. The only writing I ever did was like business plans when I became a corporate executive. So I had no idea how to do this. So it happened quite by accident. My ex-wife had left, and I had custody of my 2 young daughters, and you couldn't sleep at night because can I do this as a single father, right?
Yeah.
And so I just started writing, just stream of consciousness, no plan, no layout, nothing where you say and you sit down and write an hour a day. It was just as thoughts would come to me, I would put them down in a stream of consciousness, and then I would go back and look at it and say, well, does this make any sense? Now we were in counseling with my daughters, and one of the counselors said, Frank, you should journal this, what you're going through. And I remember saying, what are you, crazy? I'm living it. Why would I want to journal it? And then one of my daughters said, no, Dad, if it helps one person, then it's worth it. So I started to give it a shot and see. I had no idea how to write a book, what publishing a book meant, how to market. I had no concept whatsoever. So I did it. I did the first one, and then I did 4 more. So I did a total of 5 at that point. And again, no idea what I was doing. I then met Melissa, my partner, and I had a podcast and a radio show, and Melissa came on as one of the guests. She had written a book,
Yes.
and she had done significantly better than I did. And I said, all right, well, what is it that you know that I don't know? Let's talk about this. And so she sort of laid out what she believed would make a lot of sense as far as the book marketing and promotion process.
Okay.
And I said, this is good. What if we productize this and we'll test it on ourselves because we're still writing books. So we'll do everything on ourselves first, and we'll see if it works. And then if it works, then maybe we'll extend it to others. But we tried it on she did it on one of her books, I did it on one of mine, and they both hit #1 on Amazon, #1 bestseller. And I went, okay, wow, let's see if we can do it again. So we did it a second time. We said, all right, we might have something here. So let's start reaching out to other authors and say, here is Trust the Process Book Marketing. The name just came out because somebody said, well, I don't understand this. And I used to say, well, just trust the process, just trust it. And that became the name of the company. So we then reached out. There was a writing, someone who does like ghostwriting, and she got a hold of us and she said, look, I help people with their writing, but I'm not a publisher and I'm not a marketer. So would you be interested in speaking with this individual? So we did, and we talked, and then we started laying out a groundwork. And the way we approach it is to say, we will do it for you. And there's the big difference between what most book marketing and promotion people say. A lot of them will say, well, here's a class, go to this online class and give me a whole bunch of money and then figure it out on your own. We didn't do that. We said, we will do it all. We'll create the content. We'll create all the different steps. We will send it to you, and then you post it. And we'll even tell you the time and the day to post it, right? And then we'll do a follow-up with you, right? And so we started down the path, and then we got, a bestseller, one of our customers, and then all of a sudden, now a couple of years later, we've got 16 books in a row, 16 consecutive books that have gone to #1, and 8 have won national awards. All right, now we're working on number 17 right now. We're just starting that campaign. So it was quite by accident. It wasn't planned. Melissa was never trained as a writer either. We just said, we're going to write a book and let's see if we can figure this out. What we did learn was there's a tremendous amount of myths in this world. First off, we are not a publisher. We are a marketing promotion company. And that's big myth #1. Most people believe the publisher does your marketing. Okay, that doesn't happen. Publisher gets the book ready for release. That's what a publisher does. Publisher does not market your book. They might do a press release maybe, but unless you're a big name, they're not going to put any money into it. They're just going to publish the book. They do the cover format, they format the book, they do all that kind of stuff, right? We then get involved and delve into the book. What's it about? What's the content about? What message are we trying to get across? And then we sit down and we look at what categories should we put this book into and what key words should we use for this book. Yeah. That's how we put our program together. And then we create all the content and send it to the author. And if the authors trust the process, so far, a lot of magic has happened.
That's very good to hear. And I think people do get confused that when you publish a book, you have to actually work through the marketing effort and the content effort, and then trying to frame the book such a way that it actually can reach the audience on a timely manner. So
absolutely.
So it's good that you explain that how that bifurcation needs to happen to keep the content reasonable and also reach the audience on time. So that goes into the second part of the question, Frank, like what is the golden magic to select your authors? Because the authors is a representative face for the book. And the book, and depending upon their experience, their strength of content, the book publishing actually walks its way into trying to create results and also try to get a bestseller or reach an audience, a set of audience and industry. So what is the effort that Trust the Process actually takes the effort to pick your authors And also, do you go by the content and pick the author, or do you pick an author and then try to build the content with them?
The first step is we a lot of it's been word of mouth for us.
Okay.
We say no far more than we say yes when an author approaches us.
Mhm.
So we screen them, very big, intense screening that we go through. Number one, how serious are you? Okay, what is the book about? Why are you writing the book? What is it you want to do on the back end of the book? All right, because we tell everybody up front, you are not going to get rich writing a book and selling books unless you're Robert Patterson or Brene Brown or Simon Sinek. You're not going to get rich. So why are you writing the book? Are you want to create a brand for yourself? Do you want to have speaking engagements? Do you want to have a master class? What is the net end goal? And a lot of people say, well, I just want to write a book. And I said, well, then we're probably not the best people to work with because it's expensive. It is expensive to write a book and market a book and go through all those steps. And if all you want to do is say, I want to give a book to my grandchildren, then we're not the right place, right people. So we say no a lot more than we say yes. We also look at, are they willing to follow a proven plan? Are you willing to trust the process?
Okay, yes.
Right? If you're not willing to trust the process, if you're going to argue with us about every step along the way, then it's not a good fit. And the third fit is, are you willing to invest? And invest into, basically, you're creating a business. You're not just writing a book, you're creating a business, a brand.
Okay.
And if you're not willing to do those things, then we're not a good fit. You're just going to be wasting a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a challenging effort. Yes.
Exactly. So it's a lot of screening that goes into it. And then the content, the writer, the author has to write the book, right? So they create the book and we have to see it. And then we look at it, and we're not writing coaches. If they need help with writing, we will connect them with a writing coach. If they don't know a publisher, we will connect them with people we have worked with. And everybody we work with and we recommend on our team, because we have a very large network, we've already done business with. We already know them, so we trust them.
Okay.
So that's how a lot of the magic occurs, is how serious are you? Are you willing to follow it? And we break it into 3 steps. We do a pre-launch, which is, who are you, author, and why should anybody care? The second step is the launch, which is actually getting the content out there in social media and email and videos and podcasts and what have you. And then the third is post-launch. So once the book is released, release date, launch date, your best chance to become a bestseller. That's it. That's what everything is geared to that day. Launch day.
Yes.
Right. Yes. Then once launch day occurs, you want to hit bestseller, but now you want to stay there. So that first 30 days is important. So we have additional, that's the post-launch. And we create the content and the material for the author. All they have to do is cut and paste. That's one program. Second thing, people started coming to us and saying, well, it's a lot of money. And I said, yes, it is. Mm-hmm. But we said, all right, option 2 is we created an online course and we tell you, here's what we do. You can pay for this online course, so significantly less money, and you can do it. Now, we also throw a caveat in there, is that if you find it's too difficult, which the first couple of people said, oh my God, I can't do that, we will give you a credit of what you paid for the online course, and then we will do the full-blown promotional system for you.
Okay. So just to keep it in perspective, the content and the author is then actually ingrained with how they want to build the book by following the guidance of the program. And then we actually launch the book. Then they actually stay with the launch of the book, so the author is actually recognized and the book is recognized. So that's what I meant. That's a very good methodology to actually introduce both. The content strength is depending upon the best-selling and the awards which we get received is by the content which we actually propose, right. Correct? Yes.
And we look a great deal at, there has to be a story.
There has to be a story.
We've been approached by some people who, brilliant minds and great data. It's all data, fact. And we said, I could get that on Google. I could get that on National Geographic's.
Uh-huh.
What's the moral? What are you trying to get across?
Mhm.
How did it impact you? How did it impact your life? Because that's what people want to know. What you went through, how you dealt with it, where you came out at the end, and is this something that will resonate with them? Right. And one scientist got very upset, and we said we weren't going to work with them. And their whole thing was, you know how long it takes to gather this information? And I said, probably takes a long time. But
But they
does
do
anybody care?
about the perspective of the author's perspective about the information which you're trying to share.
Exactly. How does it going to connect with another human being? If
Yes.
it's not connecting with somebody, if it's not touching their heart, if it's not making them think, if it's not wanting them to take action,
Mhm.
then you're spending a lot of time and energy writing a book that no one's going to buy or read.
Correct. So, uh, you explained how the company actually works, how you motivate the authors to write the book, and also try to discipline them, to nudge them and train them to be authors for future books. So that's very good to hear. But if there is a set of people who would like to join you in the publishing industry, uh, like, do you have any a couple of things you want the professionals? Because our industry talks is to try to help the audience understand what is the industry of publishing, and also if for the future professionals who are actually trying to step into the industry and try to learn the game and be a productive career professionals and pick the professional as a be a professional in this career. So, do you have any three key things for the other set of audience? I understand the authors, the content, and the discipline and the marketing, but do you have any set of three would be better, three professional advice for the professionals who will be joining the industry and are in a beginner state of the industry
Sure.
to learn the game?
First thing you have to do is, what's the net end goal? What's your end goal? Why are you writing the book? All
Uh,
right. Because every speaking group that you go to, they say, write a book, write a book, write a book. That gives you credibility.
that's the
Okay.
best.
Well, most of them, it's a pamphlet. It's not a book, right? It's a flyer that they put together. And they come in and say, hey, I got a book. Okay. Well, 11,000 books come out a day. Every day in the United States, 11,000 books are released. Right.
77,000. Yes.
So how are you different? What are you doing differently? Why is anybody going to care that you have a book? So
Mhm.
that's where we always tell them, what do you want to do at the end? At the end of the, when all this is done, what do you want to be? And that's where you start from. So start from your end in mind. Do I want to be speaking engagements? Do I want to increase my brand? Do I want to do more workshops? Do I want more consulting engagements? All those kinds of things. That's the first thing that we tell people before you even think about writing a book. How's it going to expand what you're currently doing? All right. That's step number one. Second thing is, are you, again, are you willing and able to follow a process?
Mhm.
Are you going to argue constantly with the people and debate with them every step along the way? In which case, don't do it. Okay. You know, it's the reason you go to a professional. You don't do dentistry on yourself, and you don't go to your next door neighbor who is maybe a farmer. You don't go to him for dentist work. So if you come to someone like us, who are marketing and promotional specialists, then you need to listen to what it is they're telling you to do, or else don't do it.
Yeah. So
Right?
follow the advice so we can
Yeah,
actually stay on the path. Yes. It's very good.
exactly. That makes sense.
Yes. Very good. Yes, it does. So, so the fourth question is, how is the growing technology changing this industry? Basically, with growing technology of AI, you know that search AI and the AI chatbots and the growing technology of AI, he has evolved so much that if you give it a piece of a topic, it can actually write you a complete paper. But being an AI advocate and also a technology professional for the last 27 years, I would not say that you would just blindly take that content and push it into a book. But what is the comfort point to basically saying that, okay, you get the content from AI and to launch a book? So what is the, how are you covering that gap of growing technology, and how are you using the technology for a
well,
more
the
beneficial?
big houses like Amazon, who sells the most books, they will not
Book publishing.
release a book that's done with AI, 100% AI.
This is yes.
What we look at is, and where we see it fitting in, is you write the book, you write the words, and then you might want it fine-tuned. Okay, how could I say this better? How could I say this? I'm not quite getting my point across here. AI is very good for that. ChatGPT is very good to do that kind of stuff. You still have to write the book. You can use it as, well, here's my idea, but I don't know how to outline it. It's good at creating an outline for you. You still have to write the book. It still comes from your brain. I grew up in the technology world. When I got out of the military, I got a degree in finance. I started working in the high tech sector in 1979. And in 1979, I was told technology is going to take over the world and there's going to be no jobs for people anymore. That was in 1979. 46 years later, it still hasn't happened, and it's not going to happen. AI, very good. It's a tool. And if you use the tool correctly, you'll be successful.
Yes.
But you don't get a hammer, or you don't use a screwdriver to pound a nail. All right, you get the right tool to do the job, and that's where it does tend to fit into place. When we're putting the content together to post for people, we will put down a stream of ideas and say, all right, now how can I streamline this? It's too long. That's one of the things we tell people when they post on social media or they do an email. They're too long. They want to tell the whole story. Okay, and everybody's going to read it. People don't read if it's more than two paragraphs. They're not going to read it. So we say, all right, streamline it. So we'll streamline it for them. And we'll make it as small as possible, because you have to have that teaser. They have to want to know more about it. AI is very good at helping you fine tune the words, but do not use it to write the book.
Understand. So it is basically, the AI actually helps you outline your thought in the recommended words, but you still have to try to pass through that information and say, okay, am I actually saying, is it actually replicating what I'm actually thinking? And also try to give you some kind of a alignment that the train of thought is not lost in just building the words. So very, very good to hear that, Frank. And I just wanted to see, so what other advancements are you envisioning for next future books? And do you have anything to share for the audience who are interested to write books, and also people who would like to join your publishing industry and the effort? So do you, how do you want them to actually come and approach you or contact you and Melissa?
What we tell people is, what you have a story. Everybody has a story. So that's what we try to focus on. What is a story? We did a book, Dr. Deborah Forrest. She wrote about the cosmic river, the energy that's in the universe that surrounds us all. Okay, right? How did it impact her? How can it impact you? What's that mean when you move into this area? Okay, so if your story will impact somebody else, someone else is struggling with what they're doing it, and being vulnerable, saying, here's what I went through, here's what went well, here's what didn't go well, and then here's how we came out at the other end. That makes sense?
Yes, very good. We got all the 4 Gs of the magic of trust the process, and also have a good understanding on when to contact you, on which draft should we actually make a call to you, or to you and Melissa, to see that we get our book published. So thank you for...
Key,
yes.
If I can interject one thing, the key is you have to talk to us before the book is released. You don't do a marketing campaign after you've released the book. Let me give you an example. I gave a talk at a Veterans Military Influencers Conference in Las Vegas. And on the panel was people from the Navy who were involved in the second Top Gun movie from the Navy side, right?
Yeah.
And I asked them, how far in advance did you start promoting this movie? And they said 7.5 months.
Oh,
I said, you
before it
started 7.5 months. For everyone saw the first movie. Everyone knows Tom Cruise. Everyone knows the second movie's coming. Yet you spent 7.5 months in advance.
or
I said, consistency and continuity is the magic. That's why our campaigns take 90 days. 90 days. It's not you do a post one day and people 90 days to build that ramp, to build that consistency. How many times do you see a McDonald's commercial during a day, or an insurance commercial, or anything? It's
so it's
keeping
just
top of mind, and that's the magic.
repetition of, yeah, a repetition of thought, and also train the thought into the audience so they know that it's coming.
Yes, ma'am.
So, very good. And the book cover is always the catch factor to buy the book. So do you guys put any efforts on how to trace that, and should the author actually think about it before they walk in, or do you guys help them build that too?
Well, the author has an image in their mind of what they think it might be.
Would
All right. And then we'll sit with them and we take it to our team, and they'll look at the cover and say, this isn't going to make it, or it's too much, it's too wordy, or it's not going to fit. The magic is to get the attention. That's what the cover is supposed to do, is to make somebody want to pick it up. Now, a lot of books are now ebooks. So the cover, when they look at an ebook, has to be enough to catch their attention to say, oh, wow, I wonder what this is about. Okay. Then it comes down to, what are you going to put on the cover? What are the words on the cover? So that becomes a big deal, the front cover and the back cover. All right, because you have to get keywords that are going to help in an algorithm. When you get into the book publishing, book marketing, promotion world, it's not a logic-based system.
Okay.
It's an algorithm-based system.
Okay.
And you have to know how to play the algorithm.
Okay. Thank you, Frank. That is the time we have for today. And thank you for taking the time, and hope to get you back on our interview to learn more facts about the industry and also the book publishing.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Good talking to you.